Before we begin the following program, we would like to say that, in our opinion, it is not suitable for children or those of you who are of a Marxist or misandrist disposition.
I call upon the factard to open the case. By order of the Twitterati, this is an impartial character assassination of the accused person, known as Hoopix, who is charged that he, on divers occasions, has been guilty of conduct unbecoming a YouTuber. Hoopix, you have heard the charges. Do you wish to say anything before the character assassination proceeds? Only that this is a load of bollocks. I am a grumpy old fan, and you can all go fuck yourselves.
Oh no.
Oh, for God's sake!
I don't like it.
I know you don't.
No.
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 You can't rewrite history, not one line!
People spend all their time making nice things, and other people come along and break them.
It's the end.
You're the cause of this disaster!
Hello, Grumpies. Well, did we all enjoy the celebration of British talent and creativity that was the BAFTA Bitchfest with former lard-arse Rebel Wilson trying and failing to be Ricky Gervais? Or what about that Emma Woke Watson?
I'm here for all of the witches.
Well, at least she didn't come across as smug and pleased with herself. The ungrateful little cow. And apart from anything else, she's a fucking liar. She's not there for all the witches. She's there for the trans-supporting witches. Not those witches who think that a witch is a witch and a warlock is a warlock. No, she's there for those warlocks who want to become witches and get a place in the coven. And speaking of witches and witchcraft, we now take you over to the House of Commons. Yeah, I know, but trust me, you're gonna love this one. It's a fucking belter. Mr. Lardass Riksbaron. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the Prime Minister follow the lead of the progressive, inclusive, tolerant and forward-thinking government of Scotland in apologising for all those women executed for witchcraft in the 16th century, some 400 years ago? Once again, Mr. Speaker, on the important things that really matter, the angelic First Minister of Scotland is showing the leadership this bastard English Prime Minister lacks. The Prime Minister. I thank the Honourable Gentleman for his question, Mr. Speaker. I'm always delighted when the leader of the deep-fried Mars Bar party gets to his feet. Like the rest of this house, I can't wait to see how many of them he's going to put in his fat mouth. As far as the First Minister of the Democratic People's Republic of Jokistan and her witchcraft is concerned, I think the only thing she should apologise for is inflicting the Honourable Gentleman and his whiskey-guzzling chums on this house and the great British taxpayer. Yes, with all the important things that are going on in the world, Nicola Sturgeon has apologised for something that happened 400 years ago. You couldn't make this stuff up. Yes, there's a gag in there somewhere about Nicola Sturgeon being a witch, but I'm not going to make it because she's not really a witch. She's more like Stalin. Whilst everyone in England no longer has to wear a face nappy, the jocks still do. Why? Because Nicola Stalin doesn't want to give up the control that she's got over the sheep. So if you think things are bad where you are, spare a thought for the jocks. It's even worse up there.
They are socially conscious citizens.
They are sheep.
The function of the human is to obey.
The mainstream media is not your friend. The culture is not your friend. The government is not your friend.
You don't have to follow stupid rules.
Do this, do that, do the other thing. My advice to you is don't do anything of the sort.
The function of the human is to obey.
Don't just be obedient. Always make up your own mind.
Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace.
Obey, obey, obey.
The mainstream media is not your friend. The culture is not your friend. The government is not your friend.
Obey! 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 Obey!
Freedom from fear, freedom from pain, freedom from freedom.
If you're woke, you are willingly deluded. Men are men, women are women. It's a bit like that to Ronnie's sketch.
It's a duck. It's a racing pigeon. Oh, it's a duck. Look, it's got webbed feet unless you bought a pair of flippers, have you?
The very fact that we have to state that you're only a woman if you were born with a vagina shows you just how batshit crazy things have become. Leah Thomas is not a woman. And if you think Leah Thomas is a woman, then you're probably the sort of batshit crazy moron who thinks that Brie Larson makes a good superhero, that Captain Carter isn't a woman's head on a man's body, and Jodie Whittaker is a great Doctor Who. RuPaul's Drag Race gets a free pass. Isn't that demeaning to women, men pretending to be women? Back in the old days, drag used to mean Danny LaRue and Hinge and Bracket, but now it's just the grotesques of cross-dressing homosexuals. When Adele put her hair in dreadlocks, they accused her of appropriation. But yet, appropriating is all that the left do when it comes to characters in popular culture. Like Doctor Who, for instance. The left are a bit like the Absorbaloff. Remember him from Love and Monsters? Victor Kennedy, RTD's thinly veiled attack on Dame Ian Levine. Well, the left are a bit like the Absorbaloff. They can't create anything. All they can do is just absorb what already exists and change it and mutate it and make it into something else. Which is why pretty much every part of the cultural landscape that we've known and loved for all these years is pretty much fucked. The problem with agenda-driven storytelling is that the story serves the agenda, which is why Spider-Man No Way Home made such a refreshing change, even if they were doing something that Doctor Who was doing 50 years ago. Let's take a look, shall we? Ghostbusters. Fucked. Doctor Who. Fucked. Star Wars. Fucked. Star Trek. Fucked. James Bond. Fucked. Lord of the Rings. Fucked. And next, Indiana Jones. Soon, that'll be fucked too. And then the left will have, pretty much, as far as I can see, completed a clean sweep of everything that used to be worth watching. And then, once they've decimated and destroyed everything, guess what will happen then?
There will be nothing left.
If you're a lefty and have been affected by any of the issues raised in this program,
Fuck off!